Hi everybody, my name is Jane Springer and I'm a life and wellness coach. Today I wanted to give you some information on some tests that you might want to get done when you have your annual physical or when you may suspect that you may have diabetes or perhaps could have borderline diabetes, otherwise known as prediabetes. There are 3 tests that you can have done, blood tests that you can have done. The first is a fasting plasma glucose test, and that basically is fasting blood sugar. The doctors typically do this in a normal physical when you get your blood work done, so definitely make sure that that is on the list. The second test is called the glucose tolerance test, and it's an oral test that you come in, you do your fasting blood sugar reading, and then you drink a very, 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 very sweet drink, and then we wait 2 hours, and then they take your blood test again to check and see what the numbers are. And then the third test you can have done is the hemoglobin A1c test, and that measures the glucose that is in your system over a period of 2 to 3 months. It does not have to be done fasting. It's a great little test to give a good reading on over time, not just the night before, over time how much glucose and maybe extra glucose you've got running around in your system. So in my case, my fasting blood sugar or fasting plasma glucose number was in the normal range. It was below 100. But I did notice that over time, that number was slowly creeping up. I maybe just suspected that something may be off. I do have a brother with type 2 diabetes and a sister with prediabetes. Anyway, I asked the doctor to run the hemoglobin A1c test. And as it turns out, when I got the result, yes, I had prediabetes. I was a little surprised because I'm a healthy eater for the most part, but I had over time been adding like protein bars that have 12 to 15 grams of sugar in them, and various times that I've been eating high carb or high sugar items. So anyway, it was quite a surprise, and that sort of got me on my journey that I'm on now to help other people figure out if they are pre-diabetic or if they are diabetic, how they can change their diet and their lifestyle so that they're no longer pre-diabetic or diabetic. Now, when you're in the pre-diabetic zone, there is already damage happening to your organs. By the time you were to be diagnosed with regular type 2 diabetes, the damage is already done. I mean, and it will continue to happen. So I will do another video to talk about the results of these tests and how you can change your lifestyle. But to make things short, if your fasting blood sugar is below 100, and that is the official number, but as it turns out, mine was always below 100, yet I was still pre-diabetic. So I would keep an eye on that. They should be somewhere around 80, 85, and if it's above that, maybe be a little bit suspicious. Then I did not have a fasting glucose tolerance test, but when I had the A1c test, the numbers look like this. If you have a A1c test that it's 4.5 to 5.7, that means that you are in the normal range. If the blood test is 5.7 up to 6.4, that means you are in the prediabetes zone, and mine was 5.9. Very surprising, but it was very good information to have because now I've changed my lifestyle and my diet. And then the third number is if your A1c is above 6.5 and above, that means you are squarely in the diabetic range. So my suggestion is that the next time that you go to your physician for a physical, not only ask for your fasting blood glucose number, which you should do every time. But if you suspect, if you are overweight, if you have a family member that is diabetic or pre-diabetic, I would suggest asking the physician if they would run the hemoglobin A1c test and see what the results are, because it's very important to find out this information sooner rather than later so that you can make the changes that are necessary. So if you have questions, please go to my website at janespringer.com, and you can contact me through that to see if you might like a consultation to talk about how you can change your lifestyle so that you can get out of that pre-diabetic or diabetic range. Okay? Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.